one or the other. But I'm thinking of people I know, we all know who don't seem to be in spherical units and are neither Nietzscheans nor Christians. Is there no kind of natural, they're really so stark, is there no natural way of being in community, friendships that are good and that to some degree
So, I do think there is a natural kind of, but it's not perfectly satisfying. In the sense of, like, in my own experience, me and Jacob, one son Father Zach, so all the Dallas guys to go wrong. I'm not because and as we were there, me and Father Zach were at these director seminaries. We had the comment of there's so many people that this is the deepest and most profound sense of community. And one of the things Father Zach said was how sad it is that they don't even know that they're this. And in that way, I think the response to your question is you don't really know what you don't know. In that end. But once they have that encounter, because I think deep down they want something deeper, but they're just unable to articulate it, and they just don't. And so I would say, I mean, it's certainly better than the worst possible loneliness. It's just this kind of unsatisfying state.
Thank you, John. That was very good. I'm struck by a couple things that came to my mind when you were speaking. One was I liked the analogy of the Nietzschean solution, or I call it that, as a piano. That was really interesting. So maybe the first question would be like, could you say a little bit more about that analogy and how that relates to the remedy? I'm thinking through this analogy you're using cure. So maybe a little bit on that. But maybe connect it, and this is sort of the second side of the question, to, I don't know, you made me think about, like, what are the kinds of heroes we're putting before Gen Z? And what does that look like? I'm always struck by, like, superheroes we have seen in the last 20 years. Funny enough, this actually comes from Uberman, right? It comes from this idea of being a man above others that transcends human limits. I don't know if you have any thoughts on that, but it's almost as if some of those cultural heroes are kind of innovators for us. And they're not really helping us navigate the issue of how to deal with critical like this. But they do seem to offer something of a Nietzschean sort.
Yeah, for the theme of the it's like it's one of the things I feel the most deeply about, that I think it's a temptation that we have to follow, I guess, a Nietzschean pattern of behavior. And it's really because we deep down may find ourselves or believe ourselves the lie of being unlovable. And in doing so, we are grasping for control. We are looking for transitory things. Because I think it's within my own power to go work my tail off, go rise in my career, go to the gym, do all these things that I have control. But in a friendship, in a relationship, which is something that Gen Z is crisis at they aren't at the point of dealing with myself where they can really let themselves be vulnerable. Everything Nietzsche says is within your capacity to do. You just have to get better and rise to the top of whatever you choose to do. And to answer your yourself, and also, okay, so yeah, about the painkiller. A lot of it comes down to no matter what, even when you attain these things, you still deep down want to be received by another person. It's in their nature. You want communion and intimacy with others, God and your friends, right? And then to answer your second question about like the examples, me and Jacob have had, there's a guy on the internet named Andrew Tate. And I'm going to relate this to all the young men in here. He just says, go get a lot of girls, go make a lot of money, go start going to the gym so you don't look so terrible, so that other people can affirm you. And really, what he most deeply wants, he just doesn't know it, is that he just wants to be received unconditionally by someone else, instead of seeking to earn it constantly. So I hope that answered your question.
No, I mean, I agree with you. I mean, there's a lot of that types that are sort of trying to fill in this gap of masculinity, and there is a kind of reaching out. Maybe stoicism is the same.
And like the theme of control, and that like Nietzsche's whole promise is like take power and embrace it. But then you also pointed out that you don't actually escape loneliness, you kind of have to submit it. But that Christ offers like a different kind of surrender to loneliness, but also a different kind of power. I don't know if you have any thoughts about power and the two different solutions.
Whether this answers your question or not, but as you were saying it, in my first year of seminary, you and I know the whole details of that, but for everyone else, there came a point where I realized at St. Anne's that it's not about me going out or me trying to fix myself. It was when I met those kids. And I was like, oh, my problems stop at the door here. Everything for at least the next hour and a half is everything, I'm doing everything I can to bring Jesus to them. Because that's what's important. And in doing so, paradoxically, I got better. And so that's what I was trying to get at with this, like this other solution, this other-centeredness, because when you just obsess about yourself, you're just always in this constant spiral, which you never escape from. And I think Nietzsche does exactly that.
If there is one more question?
At the beginning of your presentation, you said that you were going to show us some solutions and say, oh, this is interesting. Solutions about loneliness. So now that you know and that you have tasted, through your thesis and through yourself, all that you know, how would you address somebody that you find and you know that that person feels alone? How would you do it? How would you use what you now know to help that person?
Thank you. I will share one concrete example that I did thanks to Father Zach. And one summer, I think it was my second summer in seminary, and he had all the guys go do homeless ministry. And so we sent us out like teams of 2 or 3, and we were just told to walk the streets of Dallas and do this ministry thing. And when I initially started, I was like, well, he's homeless. Like, I want him to not be homeless. Like, maybe I should try to get him to enter a shelter or something like that. But around day 3, he had gotten comfortable. His name was Lewis. Lewis had gotten comfortable enough with me, and he had asked me to read him the scriptures. And to my discovery, he was illiterate. He didn't know how to read. And the moment I looked him in the eyes and I sat down with him and I read him, I think it was somewhere in the gospel, but I showed him the words in the Bible. This man started weeping uncontrollably, and I held him in my arms for like a good 10 minutes. And so I drew that experience with me into this thesis of the goal is not to fix, it's to be with someone. And it's to be with them and to show commitment that regardless of whatever you did in your past, whatever led you to be homeless, none of that matters right now, because all that matters is that I am giving you all who I am. And so for all of us, I think in our own personal relationships and our family, we all have to strive to do this, because, you can wake pinching, or like a piercing word that just cuts kind of deep. And I think that's in that space where we can practice those virtues of stop giving in to our self-centeredness and instead imitate